Top five, top five, top five.
Something topical back with another video. I'm Strange Wang. He is Nate. This top five is from our podcast, Not Topical, a podcast mostly about movies, where we do top five Disney movies in honor of Strange World. Strange World's coming out, so that's why we're doing the top five Disney movies. Tell them about the Zemeckis rule, and then we're get into it.
If you don't know how we do our top fives, he's going to start with his 5 and 4. I'll give my 5 and 4. 3-2, 3-2. Then we trade off number ones. We also have something called the Zemeckis rule, which just means if we both have the same movie on our list, but one person has it 2 spots or more higher, we just talk about it once.
Number 5 for me, greatest show on Disney Channel history is Recess.
It's debatable.
Recess School's out. Number 5. Watched this VHS over and over and over and over again because I didn't have cable, so I couldn't watch Recess anymore for a while. So this VHS was on rotation quite a lot. The Recess Christmas one also on rotation quite a lot, but this one's just great. You get more in depth on the principal, the understanding between him and TJ. They're getting out of, they're going to middle school. It's like a big thing for them and these people you've watched. And the show still holds up now. The movie holds up now. And I just love these characters. I love this natural progression they're going with the story. And they're going in such a weird fucking like maniac way of the CSI is like shutting down the school and like UFOs, and you get this like teachers and students fighting against special agents and shit. And it's fucking ridiculous. It's everything you want as a child in a kid's movie. So Recess School's out number 5. Love it. Number 4. This was hard because it's like, man, this movie's hella good, but there's some classics you can't put it over.
Mm-hmm.
So Zootopia is my number 4. I love Zootopia.
Still haven't seen it.
Oh my God, you're missing out. Such a smart way of how they play with animal stereotypes. Well, I guess not stereotypes. Animals are just animals. That's how they are. I'm trying to be politically correct so I don't get canceled off of YouTube. Making fun of animals is great. How they play with that in the film is even better. Very well written jokes. The story, Fox, he's hitting licks. The rabbit cop, she's like, hey, no, you shady motherfucker. This is what we need to do. This is bigger operation coming in. We got to get to the bottom of it. And it's actually, if you made this like a action movie, it would be a good action movie. But instead, you get more value with it and a comedic element you wouldn't get from a live action movie with the animals and everything. So because of that, it's just so much better than a regular action cop movie would be.
Makes sense.
I was fighting for my 3 spot. So it wasn't going much higher.
Nice. My number 5 is Wreck-It Ralph. And I think a lot of the reason I love it is I love video games.
Nerd alert!
So that theme is obviously really deep in there. There were a lot of like ways and things that they could have done with this movie. They did not have to take it to like the emotional levels that they do take it, and they do, and it hits really hard for me. It works really, really well. You know, I love movies that have like the unlikely friendship in them. You know, there's life lessons to be learned, but it's also just like a really, really colorful and really, really engaging movie that I think packs a lot more punch in the heart department than a lot of like classic Disney does. So that's my number 5. Number 4 for me is a Disney classic. It's Beauty and the Beast. Pretty sure that I spent 2/3 of my life not liking this movie. When I was a little kid, I think it was probably very much so like, oh, that movie's for girls or something like that. Or I don't know, something along those lines. And then I rewatched it like probably 3 or 4 years ago, and Beauty and the Beast is fire.
My mistake.
I love that movie. I rewatched it when the live action one came out, and it was okay, but I watched the animated one first. It's so good. Like, It's got so many like perfectly timed ups and downs in it. From like Belle first getting captured, Beast fighting off wolves, things kind of settle down, then the villagers showing up with pitchforks and shit. Like, but what really sells Beauty and the Beast for me is I had no idea how much I was going to love the music from Beauty and the Beast. From like opening up with Bonjour. I legitimately listen to Gaston on Spotify sometimes. Like, it's just so much fun. Be Our Guest, incredible. Tale as Old as Time, so good. Like, I love the music from Beauty and the Beast, and it is also a really fun story, regardless of whether or not she has Stockholm Syndrome. Which, she was not there long enough to develop Stockholm Syndrome. Yeah. So, that's a really bad take.
Get out of here. I thought you were going to say you spent 2/3 of your life trying to be Gaston.
Oh, no.
But hit me with a little Gaston.
I'm not going to eat 12 dozen eggs, so.
Sing a little bit. Hit me with something like Gaston.
Hard pass, but good effort.
You don't like Glee? You could have been a Glee band. Number 3 for me is a Lion King.
That's my number 2.
I could have put Zootopia over a Lion King.
Yeah, I feel that.
Again, this is personal favorites. Mm-hmm. If we're doing... It would only went up a spot if we're being completely honest. Unless you're Rotten Tomatoes and you're like, fuck this shit. Pinocchio's number 1. Fuck y'all.
Right.
What the?
But Lion King, classic story, lovable characters, excellent music. The tale versus good versus evil, old as time, but it just works on every level.
And it's a Shakespeare adaptation.
Yes. That's why I say classic story. Because it's classic.
Well, I don't think you could say classic story and expect people to know that you specifically were referencing the Shakespearean part.
Things about Shakespeare.
But okay. Yeah, Lion King's really good. It's hard to deny that. I like that it has a time jump in it. I feel like that kind of makes it stand out from a lot of other kids' movies where you start off, it's like, hey, we're going to hit them with young Simba. It's going to be relatable. They're going to get it. But then we're going to give them a little taste of what growing up is like and how fast shit can change while you were just cruising through life. But here's something I don't like about Lion King. But it's also something that makes me like Lion King because it gives me something to talk about with it that's like a little more philosophical and definitely not what they intended. The Lion King kind of ends up being about conformity, which I don't like because Simba is all like he can't wait to be king in the beginning, but he's a little kid. What does he know? He doesn't know what he wants. Shit goes down, loses his dad, starts hanging out with Timon and Pumbaa. He starts living this fucking free life. Hakuna Matata, no worries, just doing his thing. But the moral of the story is literally, it's wrong for you to do that. You need to come take your place. And he just does it. And you're telling me that he just goes back and is like, okay, cool, I'm cool being king now. And he just brings Timon and Pumbaa with him into that. Like, he's not still out there smoking whatever weed they were smoking out there. Like, he's not still eating bugs and shit. Like...
See, the bugs, well, that was the psychedelics.
I just don't...
I think smoking anything.
I thought about this recently, and it doesn't really sit with me really well that, like, Simba just abandons this entire part of him because of his, like... familial destiny. I don't care for that.
I think that's unfair to say.
Why?
Because you don't know what type of king he is, unless you watch Lion King 2. But I don't remember Lion King 2.
But that's the thing. I do remember Lion King 2. And he's just basically his dad. It's like he would have been a little bit different. Like, he would have been chill as fuck. And, like, because that's literally how he grew up. Like, he was a baby when that shit happened. and that is how he grew up. So
Maybe his mom's in it.
I understand that I'm being way too freaking nitpicky for a children's movie,
He does have a council.
but
Maybe they're in his ear.
anyways, that's just something I thought about.
But
Yeah.
Can I ask you something?
did this movie teach you about death? I don't remember if it did or not. I don't remember having a like, oh my god, so like father dying part, whatever it is.
I don't know. I was allowed to watch a lot of stuff that other kids weren't allowed to watch when I was a kid.
Same.
So, I mean, like, I was watching freaking, and like,
Freaking Friday.
no, but I was watching like I remember watching. All right, so we lived in the house that I grew up in until I was 12. I remember watching Scrooged with my dad like every year for at least 5 years while we were in that house. So that means the first time I watched Scrooged, I was 5. So, and that movie definitely deals with death.
I thought
So,
you
like-
said, I watched Jurassic Park in theaters. If someone watched every one of our videos, I wonder how many times you said that. On
Yeah,
camera.
but again, another movie that introduced me to the concept of death quite early.
Yeah.
Nightmare Before Christmas. I mean, which like they're dead already. Like Sally's literally like fucking sewing herself up and shit.
Fuck that movie.
What was the other one I was gonna say? Oh, even Star Wars. I mean,
The Santa Claus.
like, like 20 minutes into Star Wars, like Aunt Beru and Uncle Owen's skeletons are just there burning, you know? So like, I doubt that The Lion King is what introduced me to death through film.
But like all those deaths aren't as emotional, as impactful as Lion King. But number 2 for me, favorites, motherfucker, favorites. Emperor's New Groove, number 2. That is the funniest fucking thing. I love that movie to death. The comedy is like when I was like a kid, that was one that was coming out that I remember seeing. It was like, I need to see this movie. That's the best movie from that decade of Disney movies. Open Range. Oh, fuck that. I'm not watching. You know, so like by far they like best one and done. They like put all the best work in this movie. It's the funniest character development. Everything in this movie is John E. Blaze. You get that classic movie trope of I don't like you and you don't like me, but we have the same goal in general in mind, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So you get that. And personally, I think it does it better than a lot of classic movies. Like you think of movies that does it really well, and I put it up there with them. Lethal Weapon, Tommy Boy. That's how much I love that relationship in this movie. And you get crunk, and usually this idiot is my least favorite part of movies. That's usually it. Seth Rogen, gross. Like, hate that guy. But that type of character, comic relief, is usually a waste for me. But fucking Kronk is the best of the best. That dude's the GOAT. And Esmeralda, fucking villain central. What a great evildoer. She just looks evil. She is evil. She's fucking purple, for Christ's sake. I mean,
It's true. She is.
love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. Want to know something?
What?
Never seen it.
Oh my god, you gotta watch it soon.
Yeah. I mean, it and Zootopia are definitely on my list.
You gotta watch those 2 this week. And they're gonna be on this little board with 7s.
Maybe.
I don't remember the clip for 7. What's the clip for 7? I don't remember.
Something about perfection. But,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. Nice.
Patrice O'Neill. It is perfection.
Are you done
No,
talking about
7's something better.
I-
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't want to interrupt you.
Yeah, we're good.
All right, my number 3 is Hercules. Hercules. Yeah, I love Hercules. I love the setting. I love the take on the character because Hercules obviously has been a story that has existed for quite literally centuries. So yeah, to take it, to flip it on its head, you get some solid Danny DeVito work in there. Hades is like they did such a good job of like keeping him menacing, but he's also still funny, and like that's a really hard balance to make. I feel like Meg, probably my favorite like Disney princess, if you will, from a movie, because she's not really like, obviously she's not your typical damsel in distress.
She's a whore.
Huh?
Let's be real, she's basically a whore.
And like,
She for the streets.
but like she has like a legitimate like emotional struggle with inside like her, like that is still super common today. Meg's biggest struggle is not Hades. Meg's biggest struggle is this person is kind to me and I don't feel like I'm worthy of that. And that is like...
Is that why this is your favorite movie?
Huh?
Her character arc, is that why this is your favorite movie?
That's like a huge part of it. I also freaking love like Greek mythology, things like that.
Really?
Yeah, I find it fascinating. Like, it's so interesting to me. And especially when you just take it and like put the Disney spin on it. Like
The Clash of the Titans guy?
Oh yeah. I
Really?
mean, not well. I like the OG Clash of the Titans. I'm not a huge fan of the Liam Neeson Clash of the Titans, but yeah, Jason and the Argonauts. Like I legitimately like really enjoy that stuff.
What a good insult to insult somebody. Just go to somebody.
You Argonaut.
You guys look like a fucking Argonaut.
Well, I mean, whatever. Yeah, I really enjoy all that stuff, and I really enjoy Disney's spin on it. Music from Hercules is also very, very good. And then my number 2 is The Lion King.
Probably the best music is from Hercules, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely like certain songs. So I feel like Be Prepared is really iconic.
That'll probably be number 2.
I just can't
I'm talking
wait.
about whole soundtracks.
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, like it's just like here and there. Like I love I Just Can't Wait to Be King. It's my favorite song from The Lion King.
You know what's overrated soundtrack?
What?
Phil Collins' Tarzan soundtrack.
Well, it's like it's got the one song.
Yeah.
And then like
It's such a mid movie too.
Yeah.
And she's like 12 and he's like 47. That shit weird as fuck. Pocahontas.
That's Pocahontas. I don't know how Jane is in Tarzan.
I don't think I've ever seen Pocahontas, or I've seen it once.
Oh.
I don't remember.
Well, obviously in the Disney version they made them much closer in age, but
sure.
yeah, in real life there was a massive age gap between Pocahontas and John Smith.
Yeah. They left out the Elvis biopic too. But what number? Your number 3. What's your number 2? Was The Lion King?
It was Lion King. So we're on your number one.
Our number 1.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. I didn't know you fucked with it like that.
Bruh. We used to have this conversation with Alec all the time.
Well, yeah, that's true. But that was literally 12 years ago.
Our number 1.
Not 12, but...
Our number 1 is Aristocats. These felines are phenomenal. There's Aladdin, of course.
Yeah, it is Aladdin.
Which has one very, very big feline in it. And I ain't talking about the Will Smith version. We're talking all animated. Let's make that clear. I want to watch a live action Disney movie like I want cancer in my nuts. So, I popped him. He likes that.
I didn't like it. It just caught me off guard. But
Aladdin, you got the most relatable, charming, funny character in existence.
Yeah.
The best princess, because she's down to earth. She doesn't want to be a princess. The dad is a fucking idiot savant.
Right. Yeah, he's very dumb, yeah.
The goons are the gooniest goons.
You idiot, we've all got swords.
Get those fucking hyenas out of here. Jafar, best villain, because he's truly a villain. Hades, there's sometimes you don't want to dislike Hades.
Yeah.
Hades is a fucking goonie, but Jafar's a fucking villain through and through. Mm-hmm. The visuals, the little CGI fucking inside the cave tunnel thing.
Oh, yeah.
Mind blowing at that age.
Incredible, yeah.
Songs fire. The motherfucking video game. Goddamn fire.
On the Sega Genesis? Yeah.
That fucking Lion King joint.
Yeah, that was
You can only go so far, and that shit was unbeatable.
Yeah.
Fucking Arabian Nights. That not Arabian Nights. Fucking, that's a song in it, right?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
But it's just
Fucking-
like the 8-bit version.
Yeah.
So it's
Fucking-
just do 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 do.
Let me get Arabian Nights on that Aladdin King joint for the Sega, and I'm having a good time.
Yeah, I love Aladdin a lot. To me, like the voice acting in Aladdin is like the best. I love it, and it's not just because of Robin Williams. Like everyone in that movie,
I didn't even mention him.
yeah,
Everything in that movie is so great, and I left out Robin Williams.
and Gilbert Godfrey, pour one out for both of them.
Yeah, for real, for real. I forget what he sounds like. Too bad I don't have someone on the couch that sounds like him.
I'm not sure what he sounds like either. Iago, he's a parrot. He's a great little sidekick to Jafar. But I really like the dynamic with Jasmine and her dad. I even like the switch up they did. Like, the live action one is not great. But I like the switch up they did with her where instead of just, like, not wanting anything to do with it and, like, wanting to marry for love and all that, like, her whole thing is, like, basically literally like, Dad, you're a fucking idiot and I'm way smarter than you. Just let me, like, be the Sultan. And like, nah, traditionalism. But I love, like, this, again, the setting. Like, and I just like, I like magic in my animated movies. Because it feels, if like, that's its sweet spot. It feels in place. Like, you can do whatever you want. Like, Magic Carpet Ride is like, when you're a kid, like, that shit, like, there's something about the way that they animated it. Like, it just, you feel like you are soaring on that fucking carpet. Like,
I still like carpet rides.
Nasty son of my bitch.
of a different sort. But yeah, Aladdin, absolutely number
Yeah,
one.
such a banger.
One more thing.
Let us know what your top 5 is down in the comment section below. Scroll back up, hit the like button, and subscribe.
It's not a game, it's a